Here we are in Costa Rica, Panama, one of the most incredibly rich biodiverse areas in the world. Not only is it rich because we're right in the middle of the New World tropics, the neo-tropics, but especially in this area because we're right in the middle of the land bridge between the Americas, between North America and South America. Birds, mammals, everybody's gone north and south and mix here. Tremendous diversity. You never know what you're going to find here, but you always know you're going to find something, and you're going to find plenty.
So we're at Pedro Miguel Locks, the first of 3 steps. Here we get lowered from 86 feet, which is the level we've been at, down to 54 feet. And at Miraflores Locks, we'll be lowered from 54 feet down to 27, and then down to sea level. We will be in the Pacific Ocean, and we have that way finished our transit through the Panama Canal.
We are on Barrio Colorado Island, which is the largest landmass in the middle of Lake Gatun. Barrio Colorado Island is actually the research station for the Smithsonian Tropical Research Institute.
We do have a chance of walking through these trails. Not very many people who are not researchers get to walk through the trails. Every species of plant or animal has been studied here.
There's only about 6 square miles for animals to roam, so your chances of seeing something cool are pretty high.
All of the Central American forests need to be protected. This region is one of the most unique areas in the world, and we hope to protect them for the future generations.
The beach is fabulous, but the coral and the snorkeling are wonderful. You couldn't ask for a more beautiful day. It's pleasant, it's relaxing, and we're having fun.
Manuel Antonio is one of Costa Rica's jewels within the national park system. This park is well known for the number of medium-sized mammals. You can find monkeys or sloths. You will not find, though, any kind of predator. For that reason, we do have a big concentration of animals.
This one's 3-toed. It's got a lot of algae on its body if you get a good look. It's kind of like dark gray and blends in really well. Precisely, that is the defense mechanism of the animal.
You have something beautiful there?
Yes, right here. Look, right above us in the tree. Long-nosed bats. 12. Yes.
White-throated capuchins are one of the most commonly seen primate in Costa Rica. They're very assertive. They are omnivorous. They do like to eat animal protein, but in many cases they will take fruit, even flowers. This morning we're visiting Parque Nacional Corcovado, or Corcovado National Park. This is the place in Costa Rica you want to visit if you are thinking of a tropical rainforest. It's pristine, it's almost untouched. The place itself, just being in Corcovado, is a dream come true. Many Costa Ricans themselves don't visit this area very often, and it is a privilege for us to be here. We saw a group of spider monkeys, Central American spider monkeys, the biggest monkey in the New World. It's just beautiful.
We have an opportunity to explore as close as we want from where the birds are. There's a blue-footed booby up there by itself. Now we go into frigate territory. You can see some of the males on full display.
You've got to come. It is absolutely amazing. You're in an area of the forest that very few people have ever been.
Every day I go for a walk, I see something new, or I see something from a different perspective, and it's always filled with some new treasure or new sighting that I haven't seen before.
Why should you take an expedition? It's all about being out there, having the freedom to explore, and building stories. And I think at the end of the day, there's a bit of explorer in all of us. We want to go out there, we want to discover, we want to learn. If you need to get away, you need to get refreshed, you need to get re-energized, I can't think of anything better than going on an expedition.
So we're pulling into our anchorage here at Flamenco Signal on the Pacific side, getting ready to take on a couple of people to our boarding officers to check over the vessel, and then our pilot. You know, the canal is quite an engineering marvel, and it's really exciting to go through it each week. I think it's on a lot of people's bucket list to go through the Panama Canal, and it's just one of those things that everybody that's a mariner really thinks about doing at some point. First impressions of the canal when I came through are really just how vast it really is, or how big the operation really is, and how big the ships are going through there. It's really quite amazing.
We are so excited because this is our first voyage of the quest here in the Panama Canal. We find ourselves at this moment in the middle of Gatun Lake. That is a man-made lake that was created when they dammed the Chagres River, the Gatun River, and the City Grande River, and flooding the valley of the Chagres River. Our transit began last night when we came in through Miraflores locks, and then we passed to Pedro Miguel locks. Here in this two set of locks, we were raised a total of 85 feet above sea level.
I was really looking forward to the canal, and I've been wanting to see it because I read one of the books about the building of the canal. So this was my opportunity to come down and actually see what they had been writing about. And I really enjoyed it last night. We could see the whole canal lit up at night. It was really pretty. It was fun to watch the odd little locomotives that pull the ship along through the docks.
And of course, Panama Canal is just an amazing series of history and technology, that 100-plus-year-old technology that's still working today. It's amazing to see.
I have a family history in the canal. My great uncle, William L. Seibert, was the guy who was in charge of building the Atlantic side of the canal, Gatun Locks, Gatun Dam, which is the water system that makes it work. And my father, later on, we came to Panama with him in 1940 to build the third locks of the Panama Canal, and lived here, me through the first grade until World War II started. And this was a real kick for me because I never had a chance to go through the canal before.
The canal has been operating for more than 100 years, since 1914, and thousands of vessels have been crossing through the Panama Canal. And now it's our chance. It's our great opportunity. We're making history going through the Panama Canal, the first time on board National Geographic Quest.
The Panama Canal is probably one of the greatest contributions to mankind in modern history. This is what it's all about. It's open to the world. It has expanded trade. It expanded the west to the east coast of the United States. The whole world is involved here. The canal is not just a canal. The canal is a route. Ships are just coming one after the other. All kinds of vessels transiting. It is fantastic to see that you're coming into a lock chamber and 26 million gallons of fresh water with no pumps whatsoever, gravity fed, is lifting or dropping that ship into the next chamber.
Sooner or later you read about the Panama Canal, and you do a little research on it, and you just really wonder what it's going to be like when you know you're going. It's really exciting the first time, and it's probably nothing like what you expect, but it's on many people's bucket list. I was really excited the first time I came through. It's quite an engineering marvel. We're lucky to go through there each trip, and we love sharing that with all of our guests.
Here we are in the control house of Pedro Miguel. This is Command Central right here. And from here is where the lockmaster then is making sure that all southbound or northbound transits are happening. So if anything was to go wrong with any of the ships, they from here can manage the situation. It is completely advanced into a complete computerized canal. experience of transiting the canal is unbelievable. Most people in the world dream about coming through the canal. It's a great historical moment to be here, and going through the canal, it's 8 hours and it does not seem enough. We always want more once we finish that canal transit, because we all know how special it is.
National Geographic image collection, standing on board the National Geographic Lindblad Sea Lion, and we're in the middle of the Panama Canal. I didn't know the Panama Canal was open 24 hours a day. You know, that this goes on all year long, Christmas included. Night or day, just like a drive-in. Yeah, people were asking, how can you get shots at night on the Panama Canal? Because you're really on a moving platform. So there's always movement, there's always vibration coming from the motor. What's often recommended in photographic magazines is to carry a bean bag with you, something to absorb the vibrations from the motor when you set your camera on the railing. What I was recommending is that you take a shoe off, set it on the railing, put your camera right on top of that shoe. That will absorb all the vibrations and give you as gentle a release of your shutter as you can get. Besides, if your shoe should fall overboard, you've always got another tripod on the other foot. When you are on a moving ship, how do you get different angles? Because there's not a lot of choice. You're either in the front of the boat or the back of the boat. And the trick really is to look for the details, because there's something going on all around you. And the other nice thing about this moving platform, if you really look at things, these locomotives, called the mules, move right with you. If you hold your shutter open and the locomotive is moving at the same speed as the boat, you get a wonderful shot with the locomotive in focus and everything moving past it being blurred. My favorite picture that I was able to shoot in the last 24 hours, the gentleman actually let me crawl down on the deck and shoot through the little hole that the rope comes through from the locomotive, and a nice frame around it like a window. It's probably something no one's tried before, but probably no one wanted to get that greasy lying on the deck. I think the trick in shooting a canal is to first get your cover shot, get the shot you were sent there to shoot. Once you've got that, you can just let loose a little bit, have fun, and get creative. I think you always relax more when you know that the shot you were sent there to get is already in your camera. Then you can get anything you want and just please yourself, and those are probably the shots that are going to please you the most when you get home.
So my dear friends, here we are in our first day of expeditions, having a lot of fun going through our first set of locks in our canal transit. The locks we're going through right now are called Gatun locks. When you're doing a canal transit, depending on your size, you're going to be required to have what traditionally we call mules. These mules are small trains, very heavy, very strong, that are teaming together with the pilot to keep our vessel centered when we do the approach inside the chamber.
So the next one's higher and raises us up when we get in there.
You know, it's unbelievable that we actually got to go through the canal. I watched videos about the canal and sort of seen it and knew how massive it was, but when you're inside a boat going through the canal, you really get a sense of just the scale of the thing. I mean, when the water drops down, the boat goes down, and you see the big gates open. It's incredible, and it's incredible to think that was built, you know, over 100 years ago, and there we are right there getting to see it firsthand.
We are in the Isthmus of Central America. It's one of the most diverse places on our planet.
We're very lucky to get to walk the best kept tropical rainforest in Mesoamerica.
How cool is that, huh?
We were just hiking and we saw 6 macaws, which was absolutely awesome.
The fish were outrageously beautiful. Schools of fish, little tiny things, yellow striped.
Oh, it's great. Love it.
So this is another great family that has opened their house, their business, their property for us to see.
Running in the Panama Canal is one of the more exciting parts of my job.
just the mechanics behind it. I mean, the technology just keeps improving. Definitely the high point.
Everything is so special in this part of the world.
Welcome to the journey that will change your life.